Welcome back. My name is Mia Renvall, and this is the 4th episode of the interview series Healing Intimacy. Today I have with me radical honesty trainer Christoph Fink and his partner Sara. Warmly welcome to both of you. I appreciate you both for being here.
Thank you.
Hey, Mia.
Hi, Mia. Thank you for having us.
Thank you for being here. I want to start off with a short eye-gazing exercise. I invite you to turn towards each other and just look at each other in the eyes with a soft gaze. So just feel your bodies and notice what is going on as you look at each other. Just being with whatever is in this moment. And maybe take an intention to look lovingly at the other. So this soft, warm, loving gaze, if that feels comfortable for you. And just let your face relax and your jaw relax into the Yes, nothing to do or nothing to pretend. Just be. And then gently close your eyes and come back into your own space. Feel into the difference between being in contact and being with yourself. And when you feel ready to, you can open your eyes and turn back to the screen. Take your time, no hurry. And now you can maybe share a little bit. How was that for you? What do you notice in your body right now and thoughts?
I noticed my throat really tight and my jaw tensed. And I still feel my breast and my chest tensed and tight.
Yeah, I noticed some numbness in my dick, or should I say lingam?
You can call it whatever you want, no worries.
Yeah, and now I feel a little bit sadness. Yeah.
Where do you feel that sadness?
Yeah, I think it's like the skin under my eyes dropping.
Yeah, I appreciate you for sharing that. So when we do eye gazing, sometimes there are surprising things coming up. Even if we are in a very close relationship, when we look each other in the eye, there's all of the past days kind of triggers and history and stories coming up. And there might be also some feelings of feeling touched or moved by the intimacy with the other person.
And also like contradicting expectations that it should only feel nice and loving and warm and sexy in my body when I look at my boyfriend. Yeah. And I can't feel like tight.
And I imagine all of it is welcome. I imagine when we are in an intimate relationship, it's a mishmash of many things anyway that comes up.
Yeah, sure.
I appreciate you for sharing that, and I appreciate you both for being here. So, intimacy. If you look it up in the dictionary, it's a certain kind of familiarity or a close relationship with someone, be it your friend or a lover. It can be sexual or it can be romantic. It can be just a loving, close relationship. So, what does intimacy mean for you two as a couple?
I oh, that's interesting. I can speak for me personally. And I like the word connection more, feeling connected. And I imagine it's a state of my nervous system where and even there I can be esoteric and speak about frequencies and rhythm, and there's very little inhibition. So I'm tuning in to the other person. Oh, I think that's it for me. Really tuning in. Let me be affected by whatever the other person does. Not protecting myself through muscle tension in my chest. Not oh yeah. Oh, that's beautiful. I think about moments where I listen and my body reacts to what I hear, and my body reacts to your eyes looking at me, and lips and movements around your nose. And yeah, noticing that, that's the moment that comes up when I think about intimacy. Also, I for myself, I have this huge craving to have a effect on my partner. Like I want to
If
have
you,
some reaction.
I appreciate you for saying that. So, what would you want to ask from Sarah if you would want to kind of have an effect? What would be the specific things you would ask for?
Hmm. I think I would not ask. The thing we do, we call it pieksen. What's the English translation?
Maybe you can help us out. If you have to have a cactus and it has a lot of stacheln and you touch it, it's this
Oh, like a
feeling.
sting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
A little bit of a
We-
sting.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we provoke each other, and we're pretty conscious about it. It's really, I want to provoke you right now. Give me some authentic reaction.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you still there? I'm insecure right now. Are you
Yeah,
still there?
yeah.
Uh-huh. And
Very like
Sarah,
that.
what about you? How do you define intimacy between, if you would explain how your relationship is and how the connection is between you and Christoph, how would you word it? What is important for you in your relationship with Christoph?
For me, a really big part is that we stay there even if it feels uncomfortable, and no one is leaving the room or the conversation, and I really appreciate that. For me, it's super valuable. Yeah. And also to have Christoph staying with me when I feel uncomfortable and when I want to turn away, when I want to distance, when I don't want to look into his eyes anymore.
So staying present with whatever is going on. So
Mm-hmm.
experiencing
Yeah.
everything honestly in the moment
Yeah.
and just
Yeah.
not running away
Mm-hmm.
when it becomes
Mm-hmm.
a bit uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So if you have a conflict, if there's something kind of triggering or something going on and you feel resentment, what are usually the topics that you disconnect yourself from, or that causes a story that you disconnect yourself from your partner, if you're willing to share? What are the most common things that come up?
The first thing I thought about when I read your question was dishes. Um, it was a topic that we talked about recently quite a few times, I would say 2 to 3 times. And it's not like the biggest one, but the most frequent one in the last weeks, I guess. What else?
I can say for me, even a new name is insecurity. So, so for example, when Sarah comes late, I more and more get that it's not a real problem. Like most of the time, there are no consequences. I'm at my place. I have stuff to do. But after 10 or 15 minutes, I simply notice how I get triggered, I get insecure, and then thoughts come up like, oh, did I do something wrong? Did I say the wrong time? Did I say the wrong place? Was there an accident? And did she forget me because some YouTube video is more important than me? So that's something new for me every time I get insecure. And maybe just in that situation I get tensed up and like simply not being able to grasp it, not being able to know the impact of whatever is happening.
Mm.
So when I'm more focused on me, everything that makes me insecure, everything unexpected, and it can be even something tiny as you going to the toilet and not coming back in the time that I expected. Yeah.
Mm. Mm-hmm. And when you think about those moments, like her showing up late or going to the toilet, what is the body sensation that comes up usually when you're triggered like that? Can you
Yeah,
pinpoint?
yeah, I can go into that. It's like it's this like what the fuck? I
Mm.
don't even know what to do. That's just like tension and not knowing what to do with the tension.
Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm.
Oh God, I think that's at the root of every bigger conflict. I also think about jealousy. We feel tension and we don't know what to do with that.
Mm. Mm-hmm. I hear you, and I appreciate
Yeah.
you for sharing all of this. I feel touched. I feel a lot of heat in my chest and also like moisture in my eyes, and I imagine it's very common for us to create a lot of stories, and these stories like, have I done something wrong? I must have said something wrong. Um, yeah, I imagine I resonate with that a lot. So when you have a moment like this, like a trigger coming up, a conflict, what do you do, Sarah? What would you do in a situation like this if you want to kind of build more connection? What would be the first go to for you? Like, what are the things that help you come back to connection?
I would feel my body and talk about that.
Mm.
Yeah. This is like the emergency exit for every conflict for me. Feel my body and talk about it.
Mm.
And I'm so grateful every time you do that. I calm down and I I imagine like sometimes I want to discuss something with you. The moment you talk about your body, I relax and I stop discussing and I feel connected and allow my focus shifts to my body and to emotions instead of arguments. Yeah.
Mm.
And I just realized when you said me showing up late is an issue for you, I realized, and I'm really uncomfortable to say that it's not that big for me. I didn't think about that, and we talked about it a lot. And I guess still don't realize how important it is for you and how uncomfortable you feel in that situation.
Oh,
Yeah. So just take a moment, yeah, there to feel that. Yeah, that's. I appreciate you for saying that. And this is how we realize that we are different in different topics. We are different, and we need different things. But one tool you probably have also is asking for what you want. How much do you do clear requests in your relationship? Like, for instance, I want you to come on time. Are you willing to do that? Does it come up, or
that's the most uncomfortable thing. Like taking full responsibility for my expectations. And yeah, it's so easy to criticize instead.
I guess it's a lot easier when it's things that are not that close to your heart, not that important to you.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier to ask directly for that than for the real important things.
yeah. I
Yeah,
appreciate you for saying that. Yeah, I agree. The more
We
the
do.
more intimate the question is, if it's about sex, or like I would want you to do this specific thing for me, or the more vulnerable it gets, the more scary it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So honestly, I for myself now realize I avoid that. Even with the coming late thing, I don't remember asking you to be on time.
Me
I
neither.
I rather
Yeah.
I rather sit and then criticize a little bit.
Yeah.
And yeah, so yeah, I'm avoiding that. The thing that we do that's slightly indirect, and even so it works great. We do this diet meditation where you talk 5 minutes and listen 5 minutes. There's one part where we ask each other, what do you want to experience? So we create plenty of room to talk about what we desire.
I love
Everyone
that.
is, what haven't you said yet?
Yeah. Sorry.
I really like that. Or what are you uncomfortable to say? I like them a lot.
Yeah. What do you don't want to tell me? What do you don't want to
Yeah.
ask me?
Yeah.
What is your hidden fantasy and desire? Yeah, I love that. So I would want us to test this exercise called I Notice, I Imagine, inspired by Radical Honesty. So when you see something in someone's face, like the eyes, the nose, the smile, the teeth, you see a specific thing, you notice that, and then you share what you imagine. What you imagine, and it can be anything. It can be abstract. It can be something about the other person's personality. So, would you be willing to try this out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Oh.
I notice your eyes and I imagine they're brown.
I notice your eye and I imagine licking your eyeball.
I notice my nose and I imagine it's itchy.
I notice small bumps on your nose and I imagine small is already imagination.
I notice your eyes and I imagine I should say something funny now.
I notice your throat and I imagine choking you.
I see your head and imagine you like what you just said.
I see the holes in your nose, and I imagine I love you.
I notice the holes and imagine they're called nostrils. No, they're not. I imagine I should know the right word.
I see. I see your nostrils, and I imagine you can move them in different directions.
I see your teeth and I imagine you're smiling.
I see your lips, and I imagine you're dehydrated.
And just take a pause and look each other in the eye again. Just feel your breath and your body. And then when you feel ready to, you can turn back and face.
We just started.
I know, I imagine, I see you doing this exercise and I imagine you can go on for hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also personally love this exercise. I imagine you can do this with different people in a different way. So when I do it with a friend, I see different things. Like I imagine I would see their personality, imagine their personality traits. I would imagine how I care about them. And if it's a erotic partner, if it's like a sexual lover, it can become very flirty. In the healing intimacy workshops as well, we do these kinds of exercises where we bring each other closer, and you can come with any kind of intimate relationship. You can come with a friend, you can come with a lover, and just see if you can bring your closeness level from this level of intimacy to just a tiny bit closer, and see if you can be with whatever honesty is coming up for you in the moment. Thank you so much, Christoph and Sarah, for being here with me today. I appreciate you so much for everything you just shared and for being willing to try out curiously in this laboratory what exercises we could do today.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mia.
Is there anything else you would like to add?
Yeah, there's something that really that I want to communicate that works so great in our relationship. I imagine underlying every sentence, every communication is the wish to get a reaction and attention. And it's the first relationship where we talk consciously about this. Hey, I simply want your attention. And we call that pinging, like it's just, are you there for me? And it makes life so much easier to say, I want a reaction, I want attention, instead of provoking it and trying to deserve it by making some spectacle or starting a critical discussion or
a jealousy drama or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So being conscious and honest about, I feel insecure, I want your attention.
Other than doing or saying something that makes the partner feel insecure, to create awareness for that insecurity. Yeah. So
I like that a lot. I want to remember that pinging or like that was the cactus spikes. Like just kind of poke the other person a little bit.
Oh, yes.
And there are several levels. Pinging as the everything is okay, but I'm a little insecure right now, so I ping. And stinging with like the cactus is, are you still there? I feel so insecure right now.
Yeah.
So there are different levels to it.
Yes, I like that. I imagine you can ask for attention really clearly with that kind of technique. I learned something new today. I hope you as a viewer also learned something new today. And so see you in the next episode and check out the events in the pages event section. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Mia.